Welcome back to another episode of Bam-Boozled with me, Matthew Gerrish. This week, we're making a Japanese highball and talking about Akira Kurosawa's classic film, Rashomon. This is exciting for me because not only have I not had a Japanese highball, I've also never seen any of Kurosawa's films. I know, it's kind of a big blind spot for someone trying to be a filmmaker, but I'm hoping this episode will inspire me to change that. Okay, so Japanese highballs. They became popular in Japan in the 1950s. Tori Shinjiro, the founder of Suntory, the oldest and largest whiskey manufacturer in Japan, opened a chain of bars around that time, and highballs were their biggest sellers. In the following decades, though, they were deemed both a drink for old men and too strong to be paired with food. This, however, changed in 2008 when Suntory started an ad campaign with a commercial starring Japanese actress and model Koyoki. While, like a lot of drinks on this show, the Japanese highball will seem easy to make, but bartender Kazuhiro Chii says, Japanese bartending culture is not about addition, it's about subtraction. It's about finding the simplest and best way to create a drink. They are carefully and meticulously crafted, says Icy Mariñas of DrinkManila.com. Despite this, you can actually get a Japanese highball in a can, but as Icy says, it's nothing like having your bartender build the drink for you. So let's give it a shot. Like most drinks, it starts with some ice. I, however, have some disappointing news. I can't cut me off some fresh ice cubes anymore because it's spring. I know, I'm disappointed too. I gotta be lame and use a freezer like some normal person. Can you believe it?
There's one in every town.
Alrighty, here we are. I do have one disappointment here, and it's that I don't have the clear cubes that were recommended to me in almost every article. I should have known to freeze the ice earlier than I did. I didn't have like an ice tray here, so we gotta go with our normal, how would I describe these? Like big smile ice, right? Like I guess. Hopefully I didn't look like a madman like that. Anyways, all right, so we got the ice. Now we're gonna do the whiskey. Here we are, TikTok. This is all for you. One of these days I'm gonna not reference that. But I can, it still does well, I don't know why. One of these days I'm gonna get another bottle that's hard to open. And trust me, you'll see, I'm gonna get some haters again. It's gonna be glorious. Yeah, this is really interesting whiskey too, from what I understand. As I said, it's from one of the oldest Japanese whiskey manufacturers. I'm excited to give this a try. I might even take a shot of it afterwards, but... All right, so we're gonna do 2 ounces. I'll be real with you. The recipe I'm doing, I'm kind of making it my own. Not completely. I'm trying to still follow things as much as I possibly can because of how meticulous some people are about this, especially in Japan. Okay, so now we stir. Oddly, it said stir clockwise 13 times. Didn't know that had anything to do with things, but I guess it does. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we got 13. Take that out. Now, gotta add the soda. So, let's really hope that this does not backfire like the last time I tried to open club soda on this show. And the final thing we gotta do here is fill the glass. That was extreme. When I was originally doing the show, I didn't have this fancy equipment around me, so I really don't want this to explode, even if it would be very entertaining. There's the old method. I think I did it. Think we're good? Are we good? Oh, no. Very careful with this. I'm not getting sprayed again. Okay. This would be a great time to have a close-up camera. Because this is far more tense up close. All right, we're good. We're good. This is kind of an estimate, it seems like. I keep seeing like 3 to 4 parts soda. I don't know what that means, so I'm just gonna guesstimate on this one. All I know is I think it just has to be up to about where my middle finger is. I think. Okay. It's another drink with an interesting smell. It says to do a single stir with a bar spoon from bottom to top. Okay, here we go. There we are. Alrighty. Now we just got to get a little garnish in here. This is another thing that I couldn't find a conclusive, information about, whether or not you should use a lemon or mint or what have you in this, or if you just let the ingredients be what they be. Oh my God, Matt. This is going to be a janky ass. Yep, it's janky. I can't see it well. You'd think under all these lights and these glasses I could see this well, but no. Come on, Matt. I don't know. I mean, doesn't have to look perfect. It's only a web series. Okay. I think that's it. I guess we're going in for a taste. Yeah, it's pretty good. From what I understand, if you have a bartender that really knows what they're doing with these, they can be incredible. I do not know what I'm doing. I just fucking poured all this together. There's moments where I'm like, this is great. But mostly it's just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like when you get it to like the back of your tongue, that's when it tastes the best, to me at least. But when it goes down, it's like, I feel like I lose it. I don't know if maybe I put too much soda in or something, but I don't know. It's okay. I hate saying that because I feel like I like everything on this show. So, I don't know. All right, well, while we're here, this may be the mistake of my night, but I'm going to have a shot from my, what is this, Too Many Spirits shot glass I got for Christmas from, or should I say Festivus. Me and my buddies, we do Festivus every year.
A Festivus for the rest of us!
And my buddy Cam Wood got me this because he knows I like Shane and Ryan from Too Many Spirits, and this is the Shane one. So here we go. I actually haven't seen much of that one. I mostly watch them on BuzzFeed Unsolved. Jeez. Why am I doing this to myself? Oh, God. Here we go. I think I like the shot better than the drink. Yeah, it's interesting. It's super interesting. This is not like Maker's Mark, for instance. It's not like that. Yeah. Let's get this out of here and put it over here with the famous bottle. So one thing, before we switch sections here, I want to mention is that I noticed this with Maker's Mark, that they spelled whiskey with no E. And I was confused by that because I've always seen it with an E-Y rather than just a Y. And this did the same thing. So I looked it up to see if there was actually any difference, like if there was like a significant reason why this is the way it is. But there is not. It's just different spellings. I guess it's just America and Ireland that does it with an EY, whereas almost every other country that makes whiskey does it with just a Y. To me, it reminds me of like the difference between theater, ER, and theater, RE. Although I guess to me, there is a difference there, because like when I go to the movie theater, to me that's ER. When I go to the theater, it's RE. So I'm doing this show a little differently this week. I want to actually drink this while I watch Rashomon. I figure that'll be a cool experience. So I'm going to do that. And I'll be right back. So we're back. I'm a bit tired. I think the whiskey's hit me and it's getting pretty late. So let's get to talking about Rashomon. So obviously, I really like this movie. It's one of the greatest films of all time, so it would have been weird if I didn't like it. It's just very interesting to see the beginnings of a cliche. I should preface that by saying I'm not someone that is like super against cliches. So when I say that, I'm not like critiquing it for being the start of a cliche. The traditions of film and what are things that remain in storytelling from film are very interesting. One of the reasons I really like tvtropes.com. But yes, in this case, the Rashimon Effect. I did know that this came from here because, I mean, it's called the Rashimon Effect. If you don't know, and you haven't seen this film, it's basically the idea of conflicting narratives, or like just separate narratives, where you get to see different events through different eyes. So like think like Nolan with The Prestige, or Tarantino with Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction or something. But what makes this one stand out to me is how kind of dreamlike it feels. It oddly felt fresh to me, even though it's the first time this is happening. Or not first time, but how do I put this? Because I mean, I can't say for sure if it was the first time, like there was a conflicting POV type film ever made, but it's definitely the thing that started it as a popular device in storytelling. What's interesting with this one, as I said, it's got this dreamy vibe. I think it's from partially the acting. The acting is very big. It's not subtle. I believe Kurosawa said he did that on purpose because he was inspired by silent film. It had a big effect on him. So the way actors act in silent films is big because they can't speak. Before I go any further, I should describe the plot to people if you have not seen it. I do recommend seeing it before I talk, because who knows, I might spoil it. I'll try my best not to. It is about a priest and a woodcutter explaining to this, they refer to him as the commoner, a trial where they served as witnesses. And they were explaining the different stories that came out of that trial and how they conflict. How they all had the same conclusion, but had different ways of getting there. And it also focuses a lot on why people lie. In the 3 stories we get, from the trial at least, we get someone who is seemingly telling his story to protect his ego and identity. Same for the wife, and kind of same for the samurai, who I would more argue was trying to protect his honor rather than just his identity and ego. And as we hear these stories and we begin to get a better picture of maybe what happened, because by the end we still don't fully know, because they keep this idea of no one can truly know going the entire movie. So as these stories get told, the cynicism starts to really hit you. You start to wonder whether or not humans are just self-centered and self-serving. Are we all rotten? Is there anyone that's actually good? Because even the people we think can be good end up making decisions in this film that you're kind of questioning. What's good is the film doesn't necessarily end in a cynical way. So it's nice to know that Kurosawa does believe in good, that he's not just the commoner who believes that everyone is a bastard. To me, I believe the message of the film is that while we can know that we have a tendency to lie, to want to protect ourselves and tell ourselves who we are and why we did something, or explain a situation in a way that makes us look the best possible way, the way that can help us the most. While we all have a tendency towards that, maybe, we can choose to do the right thing despite all of that. The choice that is made at the end of the movie, I feel like highlights this idea that even after seeing the dark side of humanity, we can still choose to do a good thing. Being self-serving is not the only thing that humans want. There is a part of us that wants to have faith in man, and that's maybe the thing that can make us good. I don't know. Just a few other just stray thoughts I had. I really liked the cinematography. Cinematography was really well done. The shots that really stuck out to me were the somewhat opening shot of the Rashomon gate. That was crazy good. The shot of the bandit riding his horse through the hills. Amazing shot. And I was reading a bit about how they filmed it, and I guess they used multiple cameras and stuff, and it's just in that time period to be doing that. And last week we talked about low budget, and I don't necessarily know how low budget this film was, but it's interesting to me that they were able to do something like that with the budget they had. Another thing I liked was there's some really good quotes. So the commoner at one point is trying to goad the 2 other men into telling him what happened, and one of them says, "No more horror stories." So the commoner says, "There are common stories these days. I even heard that the demon living here in Rashomon fled in fear of the ferocity of man." Ugh. I love the way that's written. That's just nice. And I have one final quote for you guys, and it's from Kurosawa himself. It's to do with the sound, actually. Since he wanted to make this film like a silent film, he said this: I like silent pictures. I always have. I wanted to restore some of this beauty. I remember it in this way. One of the techniques of modern art is simplification, and that I must therefore simplify this film, which I think actually kind of ties back to the drink we made. It's a very simple drink, but within the simplicity of a Japanese highball, for instance, there can be a specificity. It's more in the technique of how you make it, rather than any other flourishes that would otherwise distract from the base level of what the drink was. I'd love to keep talking about this movie, but I also know that I have a 15-minute limit on IGTV, and I don't know if I'm reaching that limit right now, but let's just be careful, how about? And with that, I guess we'll throw it over to my sister, Stephanie, who is the guest taster today. So Steph, yet again, take it away.
What is this one?
This is a Japanese whiskey highball.
Okay. So he gives me all the whiskey drinks.
I just make a lot of whiskey drinks.
Okay. It's interesting. I feel like it's different than the other ones you've given me, though. Like the other whiskey drinks.
Yeah, as I said,
I don't hate it.
it's Japanese whiskey, so it's a lot different than the other whiskey drinks.
Yeah, it tastes different. It's not as strong, which I like.
Mm-hmm.
I'd give it like an 8 out of 10.
An
but
8
for
out
a
of 10.
guy would love this. This is a good one.
It's interesting because for me, I thought it was just okay.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't think I made it. I think I made this one better.
I mean, this is the first one I've taken 2 sips out of. It's good. Good job.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. Just an update. I'm drinking Steph's whiskey highball, and it's really good. I definitely did better this time than the first time, so take that as you will. Maybe it's because it's a nice day, I don't know. Just the combination of nice day and nice beverage. And we are at the end of another episode. Just want to say I appreciate everyone who has stuck around for all 12 episodes, or even if it's your first episode. I just like that anyone would want to watch something I do, so I'm just grateful, I guess. Next week, we're going to do an Easter special. I don't really know what that means yet. Maybe there's like some sort of like on the third day kind of thing, or like a Good Friday, or I don't know. It's got to be something, I imagine. I got some movie ideas, I'll tell you that much. But so expect that in a week. I guess the only other thing to say is thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in a week, and cheers.